石畳の広場。あ、誰かいる。そんな中世のコスプレの人いるの？あ、
Wow, nice cape.
You're not fellows or pointers. I'm sure I shall immediately regret asking. But who are you, and what is your business here?
I'm Sally, and this is my sidekick Grimoire.
A private detective, Grimoire.
Really? You're a detective. If this is a joke, it's not a good one.
Who are you, anyway?
Private Detective Hawkshaw.
Oh, nice. Hawkshaw's a cooler name than Grimoire. Maybe I'll become her sidekick.
You're not on the Freya Fellow case, too, are you?
That is classified information between myself and my client. Clearly, this is something which eludes you. But a real detective refrains from handing out informations to persons unknown.
Oh, right.
Now, if you would, I have work to do.
おー、なんかかっこいい人出てきた。私立探偵だってこの人も。
It's not in my interest to discuss personal details.
Even if you're one of the suspects in a murder?
Very well. Let us make a small exception. Ask.
Oh, what are you doing here?
I'm on a case at the behest of my client.
How long have you been at Tangle Tower?
133 hours. 5.5 days.
Who are you working for?
I am not at liberty to answer that. Now, I shall permit you one more question.
What crime are you...
How'd you get that scar? It's cool.
You really think so?
おー、この人は5日と半日前から誰かに依頼されて事件を調べてるってこと？そんなに前なの？そのフレイヤが殺されたのって。
As it happens, I completed an examination of Flora's room on the morning before the murder. I've been investigating every single room at Tangle Tower. Hers was one of the last on my list.
Did you find anything unusual?
Nothing but a thin layer of dust and an atmosphere of somber melancholy.
Was Flora in there at the time?
She spent the duration of my search staring up at the sky, out the open window. Didn't say a word, although I'm told this is the expected behavior.
What did you do after that?
I spent the early evening searching the library. It took longer than it should have. Fiona leaves that room in a permanent state of disarray.
Fiona was in the library too?
I expected her to make an appearance, but she did not.
And you stayed in the library the rest of the day?
Not quite.
あ、そっかそっか。じゃあこの人が来る前に来た時はまだ殺人事件は起きてないってこと？じゃあ何の依頼で来てたんだろう？
Towards the early evening, my examination of the library was unexpectedly disrupted. Sounds of running, wailing, shouting from several floors above. I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared. He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. Our eyes met. He was breathless. Something had caused him great alarm. He told me to stay out of the way. I consented. I decided to return to my office in the stone square. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me. She was clutching the banister of the Pointer staircase with an apprehensive manner. She wished to know where Professor Pointer had gone. I told her what had transpired. Then, she too crossed the hall and disappeared up the fellow staircase. More so than at any moment prior, I felt like quite an intruder in the house. I took my leave, out towards the stone square. The grounds were silent. There were no signs of human life. Even the greenhouse was without its typical inhabitant. I noted that he, too, must be entangled in whatever was transpiring in Fellow Tower. An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance. He spoke to me of what had occurred. His report was as clumsy and cumbersome as the man giving it.
Did he seem upset?
He was rattled. That much was clear. But sorrowful? Mournful? I cannot say.
なるほどなるほど。これさ、今更だけど、 音声をさ、オフにしてさ、私自身が読んだ方がいいのかな。でも、なんかキャラクターの声もさ、個性だから聞いてほしいな。まあ、とりあえずこのまま行こうか。へえ、かっこいいね。でも、探偵ってさ、目立たない格好してるイメージだけど、めちゃくちゃ目立つよね。
Is that a clock?
時
It
計
is. It's a clock with 4 faces.
文字盤が4個ついてる。うわ、ほん
I'm
とだ。
guessing it doesn't tell the time.
時間を伝えるものじゃ
So
な
what
い。
does it do?
じゃあ一体何のためのもの？ 4 本の針が正しい位置に来るまでダイヤルを回そう。なんか連動してる。
I'll do this later.
ちょっとこれは後で調べてみよう。これ何？音質？
A giant glowing gemstone full of plants.
植物だらけの光り輝く巨大な宝石。
AKA a greenhouse.
別名音質とも言うわね。あ、すごく素敵。いいな。私音質大好き。
It's a big stone dais.
大きな石の講座だ。
Biggest one I've ever seen.
今まで見た中でも一番大きいわ。
First one too.
見るの初めてだけど。これは何？
It's a sea serpent
大海蛇？
turned into stone by a wizard.
魔法使いの手で石の姿に変えられてしまっ
If
た。
you say so.
君が言うならそうか
What
もな。
happened to its head?
頭はどうしたんだ？
Beheaded
首を落とされたの
by
よ。
the same wizard.
同じ魔法使いによってね。あ、そうなの？本当？まあ確かに首がないね。
More of that weird lake water.
また変な湖の水。
It really makes me wonder how this structure is supported.
どうやってこの建物が建てられているのか謎
Are
だ。
we on an island or what?
ここは島？それとも
Beats me.
知らないわよ。
It's a big stone dais.
Biggest one I've ever seen. First one too.
これは
There's a metal plaque on the bench.
金属の飾りが
Is
つい
there
て
a
る。
message engraved on it?
メッセージが彫られている
I
か？
think there was at one point,
多分昔は彫られてたんだと思う
but。someone scratched it off.
でも誰かが削っちゃったみたい。あ、そうなんだ。このガセボは
A pointless little stone tower.
意味のない小さな石の
I
塔。
don't know. Might be a good hiding place.
どうかな？もしかしたらいい隠れ場所になるかも
Wanna
し
play
れな
hide
い。
and seek?
かくれんぼでもしてみる？
I could be persuaded.
悪くない。あ、すごい海外のノリだわ。
It's Tangle Tower.
タングルタワーだ。
Or at least it's the mansion at the base of Tangle Tower.
タングルタワーの下の部分と呼べばいいかな。あ、ここがそうなの？
It's Tangle Tower. Or at least it's the mansion at the base of
あ
Tangle
あ、
Tower.
なるほどなるほど。はいはいはい。この大きなキノコ何？
You ever see a mushroom that big before?
ないないないない。
Not in real life.
そうだよね。現実で見るのは初めて。あ、なんか他のとこで見た夢とかで。
It's a big stone dais.
Biggest one I've ever seen. First one too.
同じか。これさ、
Is that a clock?
正しい位置って、ちょっ
It's a
ともう一
clock
回
with
見
4
てみよう。
faces.
これなんか模様関係ある？あと色がついてるね。青とか赤とか。正しい位置ってのはなんかきっとあるんだ。2みたいなマーク。月みたいなマーク。これなんだろう。自転車のチェーンみたいなマーク。これは、目が生えてるのか、悪趣味に骨が植えられてるのか。
I'll do this later.
そうしよう。ここはあ、音質だ。誰かいる。あ、めっちゃ目光っ
Don't
た。
move. We're being watched.
Yeah, I see him. He's a little too big to hide in the bushes. Is anyone going to say anything? Or shall we just stand around staring at each other?
Right, sorry.
Sorry.
That's better. I'm Sally. And the guy hiding behind me is Detective Grimoire. Who are you?
Fitz fellow, the gardener.
Mm-hmm. And why are you so tall?
I don't know.
いや、ちょっと待って、めっちゃイケボじゃない？
You work here as the gardener.
I don't get paid to do it. It's just my area of interest.
What's the deal with the plants? They're all kinda weird.
Right. Did you see the lake?
That giant green and purple lake surrounding the entire house? Yeah, I clocked it.
The color is just a byproduct.
Of what? Poison?
It's not poisonous. Not to you.
What's this got to do with the plants?
The water controls all life, just like anywhere else on the planet. Clouds form, rain falls. The water grows the plants, animals eat the plants. Anything you've perceived as an irregularity is simply a result of this hydrological cycle.
Could you say that again, but like condense it as if you were talking to a slightly stupid person?
Our lake water causes the unpredictable alteration of DNA. Sometimes.
Alteration? Like mutation?
That'd be the official term. For us, it's normal. Just nature.
And you're the local expert on all this stuff?
No. I'm just the gardener.
I'm just a gardener. かっこいいね。いやー、なんかすごい好きだわ。
I was in my greenhouse, watering and weeding.
Sounds exciting.
Was anyone else around?
Not at first. Penelope came in a little later. She likes looking at the flowers, I think.
Did you speak to each other?
A little, not too much. We both left the greenhouse in the early afternoon. I went up to my room. Then I came back outside to weed the main gardens. Didn't see anyone else. After that, I went up to the garden outside my room.
And?
Let me guess. Watering and weeding.
Right.
Did anything happen to you yesterday, Fitz?
I was up in the rooftop garden. It was quiet. And then, it wasn't. I can't describe it. Could have been a scream, but it didn't sound human. We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
We?
Poppy was with me. Did I not mention that? Flora's room was locked. That's normal. She usually locks it from the inside. I knocked on the door and shouted. Nobody responded. We became concerned.
You kicked the door down?
I did. Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back. Flora was there too, but I barely noticed her at first. Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too. Penelope arrived shortly after that, with Felix in tow. I thought that was odd. You don't normally see the two of them together. Felix took charge. There was nothing else I could do to help. I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything. I found her pacing back and forth around the stone square. When I approached her, she snapped at me. I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
あ、ごめん、めっちゃ登場人物出てきちゃったからちょっとね、話が全然入ってこなかった。あ、どこを見てんの？そんなあさっての方向見ちゃって。
Have you met this guy, Fitz? Shifty eyes.
Fitz.
Doesn't say a lot. Totally suspicious, if you ask me.
That's me.
Yeah, that's... It was a joke. I was joking.
Oh, I see.
いや、フィッツ好きだな。
She was always kind to me. She'd come into the greenhouse when I was working, sometimes by herself, sometimes with Poppy. I think they were just bored at first. Eventually, they started asking questions.
About what?
Poppy wanted to learn about flowers. Freya, she used to ask me about the insects.
Insects?
One of my jobs is to protect plants from things that might eat them. Freya brought me this little glass box, leaves and twigs inside. She'd say, put all the troublemakers in there. Every day I'd put a handful of beetles and other things in the box. Then she'd come along and take it away. I didn't really understand her, but she was always kind.
あ、こうやって人を選ぶとそれについて話してくれるんだ。フレイヤは温室に来て昆虫を集めてた。
She questioned me.
About what?
My work, the plants, bit of everything.
Did she search the greenhouse?
No, she didn't.
You sure? Maybe she did it when you weren't in there.
No, she hasn't touched it.
How can you tell?
Trust me. I can tell.
あ、かっこよ。
I like Flora. I hope she's all right.
Do you think she had anything to do with the murder?
There's no way. She wouldn't willingly cause any additional suffering for anyone.
クローラは好き。へえ。
Fitz's room is unlocked. It's up in the fellow tower.
This could be interesting.
ああ、なるほど。行ってみる？行ってみようか。フィッツの部屋。これは
An empty glass and an empty plate.
空のグラスと皿がある。
Looking at it is making me want to cry.
これを見てると泣きたくなってくるわ。
Why?
なぜ
I
だ？
don't know.
わからないけど。これあれだね、床に置いてあるんだね。テーブルもないっていうかさ、フィッツさんってさ、人間なのかな？なんかさっき会った時さ、なんだっけ、人間には毒じゃないみたいなことを言った時にさ、言うって使ってたんだよね。なんかその後さ、ヒューマンっていう単語も使ってたからさ、なんかこう、人間には毒じゃないの人間を言うって言ってるあたりで、なんか人間じゃないのかなって感じたんだけど、どうなんだろうね。体もなんか大きい
That poor
し、
plant.
かわいそうな植
Looks
物。
pretty healthy to me.
私には元気に見えるが、
Healthy, but sad.
元気だけど寂しそう
I
よ
think。it would rather be outside.
きっと屋外の方が好きなんだわ。あ、そう？
It's a little handmade card. Someone's drawn a heart on the front.
手作りのカードだ。表にはハートが描かれてい
Inside
る
it。says, To Fitz, from PP.
中を見てみよう。フィッツへ PP より。PP ってなんだっけ？パピーさんとかって言ったっけ？
Ah,
あ、どうした？
there's someone outside the window.
窓の外に誰かいる。
Something outside the window.
誰かじゃなくて何か
It's
でし
probably
ょ？
just a rock.
きっとただの岩よ。
You sure?
本当か？あ、これ？岩かな？人には見えないけど。
Hello.
あら？
Not hidden very well, is it?
隠し方が上手とは言えない
Doesn't
な
need。to be. It's locked.
その必要がないのよ。鍵がかけられているから。あ、ちょっと見させてもらう？
It's a combination lock.
組み合わせ式
Sort of.
みたいな感じよね。紙を並び替えて正しい組み合わせを見つけよう。どういうこと？パズルみたいにするってこと？こうじゃない？
That's done it.
できたわね。よし、
Neat.
やったな。
Anything in there?
何か入ってるか？
Yeah, it's wrapped in a cloth. Hold on.
布に包まれた何かが。待って。
That's kind of ominous.
やだ、なんだか不吉ね。PPFF。園芸用スコップ。 華美な装飾が施された金属製の園芸スコップ、飾りのような模様が彫られており、ハートを挟むように2つのイニシャルが入っている。PPFF。この FF っていうのはさ、フィッツフェローだよね。で、PP が、なんだ、パッピーポインターかな。2人はカップルなわけ？これ何？
Neither of these lights have an actual light bulb.
どちらも電球が入ってない
They're
な
just。decorative.
ただの飾りなのよ。
Oh, so decorative.
そうだな、飾りとしてはバッチリだ。そう？
Quit sulking.
すねるのは
Not
やめ
every room
て。
is going to be full of clues.
すべての部屋に手がかりがあるわけじゃない。確かにすごいすっきりした部屋だよね。いや、私はこういうの好きだけど。
Quit sulking. Not every room is going to be full of clues.
すねてる。確かに椅子とかないわけね。これあれかな、なんか動物を飼ったりしてる？それとも自分が床で食べてる？
Quit sulking. Not every room is going to be full of clues.
It's locked, but it leads outside.
鍵がかかってるな。外に続いてるみたい
I
だ。
thought we were halfway up a tower.
かなり上の方まで上がってきたと思うけど。
We are.
そうだ。
What's that thing by the handle?
取っ手に何かついてない？これ？スライドして中のタイルを正しいスロットへ移動させる。どういうこと？こういうこと？はいはいはい。こういうこと？
Nothing. Still locked.
何も起きないな。まだ鍵はかかった
The
ままだ。
tiles have all got that same sun symbol on them.
タイルにはすべて同じ太陽の記号が書かれている。
Those moon symbols in the slots. Are they connected?
月の記号もあるぞ。何かの関係性
Maybe they're
が？
connected, but also not connected.
多分つながってると思うわ。でも同時につながっていないと思う。どういうこと？どういうこと？月と太陽。
Nope. It's not budging.
ダメだ、動く気配がしない。
Maybe the information we need isn't here.
必要な情報はここにはないの
So
か
where
も
is。it?
だとしたらどこにあるんだ？
Somewhere else.
どこか他にあるのよ。
Let's come back once we know what to do.
そうね、また後で戻ってこよう。ちょっとわかんないから他にヒントがあるのかも。
Quit sulking. Not every room is going to be full of clues.
特になさそう。ちょっと待って。ここね、フィッツさんの部屋。ちょっと待って、もう一回行ってみよう。これ見せたらなんかお話ししてくれる？
Were you close with Freya? How are you two related? Did you kill Freya?
Grimoire!
What? I don't even think she's listening.
Oh, she's listening. I
判
spoke to
定。
Hawkshaw. I assume she didn't get anything out of you either. I bet that really ticked her off.
Do you and Fitz have anything to do with each other? Other than your initials?
話してはくれないか。父親。これなんだっけ、ホークショーさんが近くにいるのは関係ない？このお父さんから 依頼されたってことじゃないんだ。いや、だってこの人のお父さんって結構な年じゃない？じゃあちょっとフローラさんのとこはお話できないから、どうしようか。ちょっとこっち行ってみよう。そうそうそう、ここあんまり調べてなかった。
That's a big lake.
大きな
It's
湖
kind
ね。
of purple. Looks
あ、これ
think
聞い
it's
た
just
か。
water.
yeah. Water with poison in it.
これさ、気になるのがさ、こう卵のなんだろうモチーフのものがいろいろあるけどさ、この湖の崖、これも卵みたいだよね。
Mountains.
山だ。
They're too steep and too smooth to be mountains.
いいえ、急斜面だし山じゃない
They're
わ。
more like cliffs.
どちらかというと崖よね。
Whatever they are, they go all the way around the lake, like a barrier.
なんであれまるで砦のように湖を囲んでいるな。そうそう、これどうやって来たのこれ。なんかこれみたいじゃない？
It's the little boat we used to cross the lake.
湖を渡るためのボートだ。
It's the only way on or off the island.
この島に出入りする唯一の方法
What
さ。
a comforting thought.
ボートに何も起こらないといいわね。あ、伏線じゃないのこれ。絶対ボートがないっていう、脱出できないってやつじゃない？
It's just an archway, but it seems a little ominous.
ただのアーチなのにちょっと不吉な感じがするよな。
Like walking through it might give you bad luck.
まるでここを通ると悪いことが起こるみたいな。
Too late.
手遅れね。これ何？
What are they?
Wind chimes.
ウィンドチャイムね。
Silent wooden wind chimes.
静かな木製のチャイムよ。
Rocks.
岩だな。
Fascinating.
なんて興味深いのかしら。
Aren't they?
だろ？いや、こういうやりとり日本人はしないよね。
Fascinating.
Aren't they?
そっか、そんなにじゃない感じ？
Do you think anybody's watching us from one of those windows?
あの窓から誰かが見ていると思うか？
Maybe.
かもね。
Let's wave just in case.
念のために手でも振っておきましょう。そうそう、これね。
I'm still not sure about this thing.
まだ何か匂うんだよ
Should
な
we。take another look?
もう一回見てみる？この謎はまだ解くことができない。あ、他のマークもある。なるほど。
Let's come back later.
これさ、これあれじゃない？なんだっけ？講座のところのなんか巨大な蛇とか、でもなんか大きさが違うか。ね、ほら卵型のさ、これも卵だし。どうすっぺ。
Hi.
どうも。それだけ？
It's Tangle Tower.
タングルタワーだ。
Or at least it's the mansion at the base of Tangle Tower.
タングルタワーの下の部分と呼べばいいかな。じゃ聞いてみよう。
Quite the stoic statue, isn't she? I can only dream of being as cold and indifferent as Flora Fellow.
You think she's hiding something?
Perhaps. She has some strange habits. I heard she barely sleeps, an hour here or there, sporadically. Spends the rest of her time staring up at the sky.
へえ、1時間ずつちょっとずつ寝るんだ。
314 cases solved. 314.
314件を解決した。それはすごいのかな？すごいんだろう。
is of great interest to me. I perceived her to be the most intelligent individual here at Tangle Tower. Within a day, she had identified for whom I was working and for what I was searching. I didn't know how she did it. I was impressed. I regret that I did not question her more thoroughly when I had the opportunity.
You couldn't have known she was about to be killed, though.
I have only myself to blame for failing to perceive the signs.
What signs?
I do not wish to do your job for you, detective.
殺される前兆みたいなのがあったの？
I'll say this. He's well suited to physical labor.
That's a nice way to put it.
Fitz spends most of his time alone in the greenhouse. But I heard he's been breeding experimental flowers. In secret.
Whoa, scandal.
I just wonder if he's getting restless.
落ち着きがなくなってる。ちょっとこれ見てみようか。そうそう、これで気になってるところはこれだよね。まずさ、ほら、よいしょ。こうやってもあんま意味ないか。これだけ瓶の形と色が違うじゃない。これさ、私、血痕が入ってるような気がするんだよね。ちょっとこれ怪しい。ちょっと待って。あとこれね。これ、こんなに尖ってることある？これがナイフ代わりってことはないの？これは絵の具じゃなくてさ、これとこれ。血痕みたいな。ちょっとわからない。ったらどうしたらいい？あ、フィッツさん。フィッツさん、目光るのいいわ。これはでも聞いたか。そうこれ何？
Little chart of,
グラフかしら。
actually, I have no idea what it's about.
一体何のグラフなのかさっぱり。なんだこれ。特に何か。ギリシャ文字だろうか。これね。
Greek letters, I think.
Kind of reminds me of a periodic table.
なんだか周期表を思い出させるわ。
Kind of reminds me of a periodic table.
これはでも何かのヒントか。数字が振ってある。123。分かった。とりあえずここに何かヒントらしきものがあるってことね。
Not a whole lot.
あんまり。
It's bigger in here than I thought it would be.
ここは思ってたより広いな。
Tools.
道具だ
Used
わ。
by a gardener.
庭師のものね。
Gardening.
園芸で使うんでしょ？すっごい見てるわ。
That's a handsome beetle.
立派な虫ね。
Looks like he might have magic powers.
魔法の力を持ってるかもしれないわ。
All the flowers here look kind of poisonous.
ここにある花は全部毒があるように見え
Can
る。
flowers be poisonous?
花にも毒とかあるのか？
Anything can be poisonous.
なんだって毒になる可能性はあるわ。
Good to know.
それはそうだよな。
Is that fruit? It's shaped like fruit.
あれはフルーツ？果実の形をしているよう
Too
な。
shiny to be fruit.
果実にしてはピカピカしすぎてる
I
わ。
think it's glowing a little too.
内側から光ってるみたい。
Safe to eat, do you think?
食べても大丈夫だと思うか？
I'm gonna say no.
それはやめておきましょう。やめといた方がいい。
It's glass,
ガラスだ。
but I can't see through it.
だが外の様子は見ることはできない。
Total oxymoron.
完全に矛盾してるわ
I
ね
am。not.
今なんか悪口言ったろ。
It's bigger in here than I thought it would be.
これも光ってる？
This one's in a little pot.
小さな鉢植えに入っ
Okay,
て
that
る。
is definitely not edible.
それは絶対に食用ではないわね。
Looks like a gemstone.
宝石みたいだ。そう思わないか？鉢植えの果実。硬い皮を持つ宝石のような見た目の鉢植えの果実。 鉢の中の土は珍しい青色をしている。これなんかでも後々証拠品みたいな感じで使うのかな。これってさ、何かを見せることができないの？
This is yours, Fitz?
Yeah,
Do you use it?
I keep all my tools in the greenhouse.
That wasn't what she asked.
なるほどなるほど。これ聞けるのね。はい
This
はい
is a
は
good
い。
example of how things work. I mix that soil here in the greenhouse. It's made with water from the lake.
And it makes the fruit grow all shiny and gemstony.
Sometimes, you never really know what's going to happen.
And what do you do with this shiny, inedible fruit?
You look at it.
なるほど。湖の水と土を混ぜるといろんなことが起こると。
There's something off about this.
What is it?
Why don't you take another look at Flora's room?
You think we missed a clue up there?
Not exactly.
なんか今ちょっとヒントっぽいんじゃない？何かおかしい。もう一度フローラの部屋を見てこい。
Paints are different to flowers.
I'd say so, yeah.
At any time, flowers can bloom with perfect, faultless colors. Red, blue, white. With paint, once you've tainted a color by mixing it with others, not even the most skilled painter can return it to its pure form.
なるほど。他の色と混ざってるんじゃないかってこと？
It's an egg with feet.
It was locked, but we opened it. But it was empty.
Fun story.
どうした？なんかちょっと今間があったけど。
That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
ポピー。ポッピーポインター。この人じゃないの？園芸用のスコップくれ
That
たの。
belongs to Poppy.
So why is it up in Flora's tower?
I'm not sure.
蓄音機自体もポッピーさんのな
What do you
の？
think that is in Flora's hand?
I don't know. It does look like a knife, but Flora wasn't holding anything at all when I saw her after the murder. But there's something bothering me. Something else.
What?
When we went into Flora's room, she wasn't standing in this position.
Well, she probably would have moved around a little bit by then.
She wasn't standing at all. She was kneeling on the floor.
事件が起きた時、膝をついてた。
How odd.
奇妙だ。
That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
これもポッピーのなの？ポッピー
It's
の
of
なの？
no interest to me, but I overheard Poppy and Freya talking about it once.
What were they saying?
They were arguing about something, but I can't remember the details.
何かを言い争ってた。
Who gave you that information?
Well...
We don't actually know who it was. We were contacted anonymously.
I see. And what happens if the person who contacted you turns out to be the murderer?
I never thought about that.
Honestly, that would be kind of fun. Like a twist, you know?
なるほど。依頼人が実は殺人犯なんじゃないかってこと？これそもそも殺人なの？事故とか自殺とかじゃな
This
くて？
painting gives you a pretty good idea of the layout.
The lake looks like it forms a perfect circle around the island.
It might seem strange to you, but nature is quite capable of producing perfectly geometric forms.
And those mountain cliff things around the outside?
We don't know much about them. They're unscalable. Not even Freya could have gone up there.
What's that?
This painting, it's speculative. There are no photographs from this angle as far as I know.
So Freya just made it up.
Let's call it an informed estimation.
なるほど。本当にこうなってるかわからない。外に出たことがない。じゃあどうやってこのグリーモアとサリーはやってきたの？なるほどなるほど。もう一回行ってみって言ってたね。どうしようか、行ってみる？いやでもちょっと聞いてみよう。 いや、ホークショーさんかっこいいよね。一個ずつ聞いていくか。
Tangle Tower. No idea why they insist on calling it that. It's not even a tower. It's little more than a pair of turrets stuck on either side of a mansion.
Have you searched the whole place?
I believe so. Why?
He wants to know if you found any secret rooms.
I'm afraid the residents of Tangle Tower are far too ordinary for anything like that. I was disappointed too.
秘密の部屋はないってことはあるんじゃない？
You truly consider this a case file?
What's wrong with it?
No organization, no system.
That's my style. I like seeing everything laid out at once. Yeah, it helps me think.
How quaint.
うーん。
Have you deciphered the meaning of those 4 symbols on the harp?
We're working on it.
That's a no then. Where'd you dig that up?
It wasn't buried. It was underwater.
Someone trying to conceal evidence, perhaps?
ああ、何証拠だから隠そうとしてあそこに入れたってこと？
Conveniently left anonymous. It's useless until you can prove to whom it concerns. Can you do that?
No.
No. Makes quite an impression, doesn't it? Although I can't imagine why she painted Flora wielding a knife.
You didn't see a knife anywhere in Flora's room, did you?
I did not. I conclude whatever stabbed Freya must have been brought into the room from outside. Unless, of course, it was the painting itself.
Surely you don't believe in that kind of thing.
A detective's job is to examine every avenue of thinking.
お、かっこいい。あ、ホークショーさんも、まあ、肖像画そのものが指した可能性っていうのは捨ててないわけ
Somewhat
ね。
cumbersome device, and an altogether inefficient way to listen to music.
What kind of music do you like, Hawkshaw?
I like anything.
What a cop-out.
今のパーンっていうのは何？
A somewhat cumbersome device, and an altogether inefficient way to listen to music.
What kind of music do you like, Hawkshaw?
I like anything.
何ホークショーさん今大パンしたの？どういうこと？そんなに音楽に詳しくないって
I
こと？
believe that was in Flora's room yesterday, but it was not cracked when I saw it last.
最後に見たときひびは入ってなかった。あ、前に見たことあるのね。
You got it open. I'm impressed. I managed it myself yesterday. I thought Flora might be hiding something in there.
It was empty yesterday, too.
It was. Perhaps it's always been empty.
うーん。
Paints?
Yep.
Paints.
Mm-hmm.
何どういうこと？
Paint is still wet.
Yeah, well, we know Freya was in the middle of painting when she was killed.
Do you know that? How? Because you were told?
あ、責められてる。
This is a potential murder weapon, is it not?
I don't know. I don't think the murderer would leave the murder weapon just lying around.
I think you'd be surprised as to what people leave lying around.
あ、なるほどね。まあスコップが凶器って可能性もなくはないか。尖ってるもん
The people
ね。
here are surprisingly materialistic, considering how sheltered they are.
Materialistic?
Growing this fruit simply because it produces a gemstone-like material. For what possible purpose, other than financial gain?
You're speculating.
What would you do, Grimoire, if you could grow valuable stone straight from the earth?
いや、この宝石みたいだからって売れるんだろうか。そもそもここの人たち外に出れるわけ？あ、でも全部聞いたか。ここはもう全部見たよね。じゃあ人がいるとこに行きましょうか。これ何？あ、石畳の広場を調査しよう。あ、なんかまだ残ってる？
A little bridge leading back to the gardens.
庭園に続く橋。なんか見落としてる？
It's Tangle Tower. Or at least it's the mansion at the base.
あ、これ？
Is that a clock?
If it is, it's a clock with 4 faces.
いや、これだってまだ何のヒントもなくない？あ、そういうこと数字にはなってるよね。3612の9。
No.
違う。
So, moving any of the hands turns the adjacent hands in the opposite direction. It's like cogs on a machine.
あ、そういうこと？あ、わかったわかった。時計の位置だ。じゃあ12がこう。で、9時がこう。で、3時がこう。3、9、12、6。
No, that was it.
あ、そういうことか。
Nice work. What's in the box?
中に何が入ってた？
A little tool thing? Looks like a telescope.
小さな道具みたいなもの？望遠鏡みたいなや
I'm not
つ。
actually sure what it is.
でも実際何なのかよくわからない。レンズ付きの道具。カーブしているガラスレンズがついた。あ、これね、小さな真鍮の道具。根元にはネジがついている。聞いてみようか。
It's a big stone dice.
ああ、間違えちゃった。
Biggest one I've ever seen. First one, too.
これこれ。
This belongs to you, Hawkshaw?
Correct.
And, what is it?
It's my handheld microscope for up-close investigation work.
What do you magnify with it?
Trace particles, dust, oils, clothing fibers.
Have you used it here at Tangle Tower?
I have. I used it to examine the greenhouse only 2 days ago.
What were you looking for?
That is between myself and my client.
ああ、なるほど。これは顕微鏡なのね。で、温室で使ったと。聞いてみようか。
You ever seen this before, Fitz?
No, but I don't normally go into Fifi's room.
That's not where we found it.
Oh, I just thought it looks like it belongs to her.
Fifi.
You ever seen this before, Fitz?
No, but I don't normally go into Fifi's room.
That's not where we found it.
Oh, I just thought it looks like it belongs to her.
あ、でも別にあれか。こ
This
れ
is yours, Fitz?
Yeah,
Do you use it?
I keep all my tools in the greenhouse.
That wasn't what she asked.
そっか、みんな PP とか FF とかだから、誰ってイニシャルじゃ特定できないか。塔に行ってみようって書いてあったっけ？何かを見落としてる？
The whole room has a strange feeling about it.
Yeah, there might be a reason for that.
聞いてみようか。どれも反応して。
Flora, this is your egg? Why do you keep it locked?
Is there supposed to be something in there? Or is it always empty?
教えてはくれない。
Is this your gramophone?
Do you know why it's cracked?
なんか違うって言ってたよ
Did you
ね。
ask Freya to paint this? Or was it her idea?
What is that you're holding in the painting, Flora? Some people have been saying it's a knife.
髪がファッサーってなるときはだいたいキャラクターの感情が動いてるときだからね。そうね、特にまあここが若干長めに沈黙ぐらい。あ、そう。ちょっと待って、これでも出る？あ、はいはいはい、すべての部屋ね。ちょっと待ってよ。だってさ、あれじゃない？フィッツさん、ここ見た方がいいみたいなこと言ってた。言ってたけども。
There it is. The unfinished portrait of Flora Fellow.
So, what? Freya was killed halfway through painting it.
Looks that way.
あれでもこれは見たよね。全部見たんじゃない？見てない？
A little pot plant, balanced on the window ledge.
小さな鉢植えの植物、窓辺にバランスよく置かれ
It's
て
the
る。
only plant in the entire room.
この部屋で唯一の植物ね。あ、ここ調べてないってこと？あと調べたよね。調べたんじゃない？まあ、じゃあちょっと一個ずつ行ってみる？アトリエ。あ、かわいい。フグだ。